Let me just check the sound. We are live. Where's the mic? Where's the mic? We are live. Well, that was interesting. That was interesting. Milk 7 Up. Milk 7 Up chocolate. The mic sounds a bit thingy tonight. Let me just check. Does that sound all right? Does the mic sound okay? Yeah, it does. We'll go with that. Hail, hail from Belfast, Ireland, Lorna. Hail, hail. That phone in was great tonight. Paul Byrne says something today. Milk 7 Up chocolate. If you missed the live last night, there's only 27 people online just now. Just check that. Sharing it on Twitter. Let's try and get some more people online. Here we go from Derry. There's not a lot of folk online. There's 44. There we go. There are people starting to come online now. Told you last night Beale was away. Lol, says Mark Boyd. Yep. Hail, boys and girls from Belfast. Lorna says that was brilliant. Once again, I have to give it to everyone on the channel. I have to hats off to everyone that we didn't come here to take part. We came to take over. Is the t-shirt that the Green Brigade put out years ago when Brendan Rodgers first came in, and we did it tonight again. You had zombies complaining about bots on their traffic, bots commenting on Super Scoreboard, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Celtic fans. And though Darvert held us up. Yep. Another owning of it was that. I need to show that one. We didn't come here to take part. We came to take over. That was fun, says Ali Jones. We need another protest to get him back. Lol. Hail from Clyde Bank. Right, there is 107 people online now. That was funny as anything, right? There is some Celtic news that I want to talk around tonight. Just make sure that volume's okay. Hail from Belfast. There was tears there. There was there. Paul Kelly, evening. James Bryan, evening. Ali, evening. Norman, evening. Right. Let's get to some Celtic news. East London's in the house. Get in there, Paul, in East London. Right, Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton has been having a laugh again. We have to talk about them first. Chris Sutton explains that Michael Beale is a comedy act. I did do that in this morning's video. But he did say that he's basically a Cockney car salesman. He said the decision was taken at Ibrox, obviously, last night to get rid of the Cockney car salesman. Beale was sacked after less than 12 months in the role. And Stephen Davis has been, the snooker player, is now going to take charge. That's completely bizarre. Anyway, the 3-1 loss to Aberdeen, Sutton says, was the nail in the coffin. They've been 7 points behind Celtic. Anyway, that's enough about them. Chris Sutton did go on to say, though, he did one last bit. He says, I was only playing with words in his tweet. He said, Michael Beale, the former Rangers man, and he had a dig at me. So basically, I had a dig back at him. He said the job was too big for him. Too big for him. And I was Chelsea's worst ever player. He was a Chelsea fanboy. He played for Charlton under 14s and never won anything. Still hasn't won anything. Says Chris Sutton. Chris Boyd, we need to talk about them. Chris Boyd, he's been talking about it also. He said, the way the season started, Chris Boyd says you can't lose 3 or 4 of your opening league games. Even when Rangers won last week, the boos were out after the game. All the champions of Beale the last couple of weeks have all quickly disappeared, isn't it? Right, let's get on to Lazio because I want to talk about Lazio. Let's get some comments in first. And Sutton is class. Alex Ray supplying the yaya at a Christmas party. Yes, he will be. And that picture of, imagine allowing a picture like that to go public of yourself. What an absolute clown. And he's probably the perfect man to take over at Sevcdo land. Someone else battering out gear on a daily basis. Anyway, let's get some anyone for a double. Andrew Hunter. And the only channel I give a like to before I watch it says Sandwich Boy. Like, how many thumbs up do we have on the video? 45 thumbs up. And there are 177 watching, which is fantastic. Fantastic. We could try and get in about 300 online tonight, but we'll see if that happens or not. It might not. But anyway, we'll go with what we have. Right. Lazio. Let's talk Lazio. We need to talk Lazio. It's awful echo in here tonight. Let's talk Lazio because it's probably the best time ever to get Lazio. They are 7 games into their season, just like us. But Lazio have only got 7 points, and they're sitting 16th in the league. and a goal difference of -3. So they're probably just about as bad as the Sevcdo just now. They have only got 7 points. They've had an absolutely garbage start to the season, and I think this is why the likes of Neil Lennon and everybody saying, "Look, you've probably got this is the best chance that you've got of beating Lazio at home because Lazio are absolutely garbage just now. Obviously, you've got Inter Milan top of the league. Milan come second. Napoli, who won the league last year. Napoli won the league last year. They're on third position on 14 points. Inter Milan are in 18. Milan are in 18. AC Milan are in 18. And then Napoli are on 14. Juventus are on 14. And then away down in 16th position is Lazio. So is this the best time to get Lazio? And can we really win? Can we really win? Lazio don't have a happy camp at the moment, says Tattoo Face. They don't. And this is, I was reading one of the, an article this morning saying that basically they're in turmoil. They're in total turmoil. Why is that still up? Hide that. I'm 45. Good for you. Michael, they have taken you away. Michael, they have taken you away. Because you were -7 and our hearts were all in heaven. Right, come on, that's enough of that. No more singing, ever again. Right, there are 197 people online. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Right, told you last Friday, Barry Robson, hat trick. Yep, even Helen. We beat them before. We can hopefully do it again. Yes, let's get back to Lazio because the referee it's a Lithuanian referee for the Champions League. Obviously, they got a point when they played Atletico Madrid last month. I didn't know it was the goalkeeper. They got a last-minute header. Jesus. The goalkeeper scored for them. I didn't know that. There you go. But this season, they're coming off the back of a 2-0 loss to Milan. So they'll need a strong response if they want to turn up and turn around things quickly. In Glasgow, I can't see it. I think it's probably one of the best chances. Celtic obviously faced Lazio in the group stages of the Europa League in the 2019-2020 season, where Lazio lost both matches 2-1. Will it be another 2-1 game on Wednesday? Tell me what you think in the comments. What team do you think that Celtic should go with on Wednesday? I'm not even going to start thinking about the team. I might do it live tomorrow night. And we'll talk about the team tomorrow night. We need to watch their keeper at set pieces. Yeah, we'll need to, because if their keeper scored with that, but then it's the 90th minute. Do you remember the good old days when keepers actually used to do that? Keepers would go up and for corners in the 95th minute and the 90th minute, keepers would go up and try and score. Well, I think Arthur Boric was maybe the last Celtic keeper to do something like that. I could never think, oh no, wait a minute. Fraser Foster did it. Fraser Foster did it in a game once or twice. Fraser Foster was the last keeper to go up at a corner late on in the game. So yeah, who do you think? What do you think? We won the league before. What's the keeper says? Chilpel. Yep. Buenas tardes, Gibraltar. Joe had done that at Ibrox in his first Glasgow. I'm not saying that. I'll say Glasgow Derby, Malcolm, and you'll never catch me saying that because they died. They died in 2012. Sevcdo just got rid of one dummy. Arthur scored a penalty shootout. Yes, he did that. Right. Do you really think that we could win on Wednesday? When you see their position in the league, I'm thinking, look, they're obviously playing absolute garbage just now. There's a bit of internal discussions going on with them about the fact that the manager didn't get the players he wanted. The fact that Lazio are in 16th position in the league, after finishing second behind Napoli last year, it's probably the best time to get them. Probably this is the best time to get it. Could Lazio be the team that we beat to make sure that we finish third in the Champions League? But let's face it, all we want to do is finish third in the Champions League, and then that's it. Colin Stewart, there's no. Why not? Says Helen. We will win. Right, Sutton today's come out with the team. Hart, Alistair Johnson, Nat Phillips, Scales, Greg Kalmack, Rio, Matt O'Reilly, Palmer, and Maida. You forgot a striker. And Kyogo. There you go. And Kyogo. Yep. Alex is driving ahead to dig up Jimmy Beale. Neil Lennon's put as his favourite. Yeah, he has, and you've got to admit that Neil Lennon knows how to beat Lazio, and he'll have been watching the table just like I've just been looking at. He's probably watched some of their games. You've got some. I don't. It's unbelievable to see them sitting in 16th in the league. See them sitting 16th in the league, but then again, a Lithuanian referee. I don't know. Lithuanian referee. I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about that. Got a bad. You know what it's like in Europe? Celtic get absolutely nothing, and but we need to be at our best because they're going to sit back and try and hit us on the break. We're going to sit back and try and hit us on the break. Celtic need to beat Lazio away and at home and away, says Paul. I think that's a definite. I think also, I think we might take something off Atletico Madrid. I've got a funny feeling. Lenny can get two. I prefer being the underdog. Usually when we're the underdog, we kind of do a bit well, but as a Scottish look, we're fourth pot. Of course we're underdog, right? We're not going into this game thinking that we're favourites. Anything but going on their league form, we were in pot 4. So when you put it like that, we have to be the underdogs. We have to be there. Everybody thought that we're going to be the whipping boys this year, just like last year. We always get the apprentice referee for a Champions League. Yep. Joseph says Celtic will win, but no disrespect to opposition. We need to take our chances. We need to take our chances. I think if Kyogo can get off the monkey off his back and score in Europe this season, I think we could do well. But I'm going to say that our first goal. I'm going to say that we're going to score 2 on Wednesday night. Something today just come straight out and said 2-1. That's because we beat them 2-1 at Celtic Park the last time in 2019. Any Champions League team are there for a reason. Any kind of win will do. Colin, that is right. But Colin, they finished second in the league last season behind Napoli, who won the league. And they're 7 games into their season, just like us. They've only got 7 points on the board, and they're 16th in the league. So with that kind of performance, you're thinking maybe you can understand why people are saying, "Oh, we can beat this team. We can beat them, and we can maybe beat them in both home and away." That would be really interesting if we can. And it's all about. To be honest, Chilwell says. To be honest, I don't know where everyone is getting their confidence from. Lazio are a La Liga team. No, they're not. Serie A. La Liga Spain. Just saying. Anyway, right. Lazio, Jack Sandwich Boy, I just said that. I think he's maybe been abducted. Anyway, I don't think we created against Feyenoord. 3 points will come, says Big Red. I think the first half, when you look at the first half of Feyenoord, we held our own. We definitely held our own. Max says it's beer time. Serie A chill, but everyone's having a go chill pill now. Oh dear. Anyway, that's what I meant. Palmer is a new Christie. He's going to shoot from anywhere after that goal at third part. I hope so. I really hope so. I hope Palmer comes onto a game because in all the video footage that you look at him before he came to Celtic, he looked a fantastic signing. He did look a fantastic signing. That goal at the weekend, even if it was a shot, it'll be. I think it's one of these things that can get you going as a player. Let's get back to some of the comments. Who really cares says I went at home and draw would do nicely. And sorry, I'm late. Great. Thanks, lads. Chill pill because everyone's giving them stick. Tony Boy says Lazio are a top class side. It will be a tough night. A draw would not be a terrible result, but praying for a win, obviously. Tony Boy, this is what I'm saying. When you look at the league, they did finish. I'm going to say it again. They finished second last year to Napoli. They've played 7 games. They've only got 7 points on the board, and they're 16th in the league. 16th in the league. So you're thinking an on-form Celtic can beat them. Surely. Chill, we thought you were behind your head. It's, right, Norman says, Hart, Alistair Johnson, Nat Phillips, Taylor, Scales, Calmack, O'Reilly, Palmer, Maida, Turnbull, and then Kyogo. Would you leave Rio Tati out the first half of the game? It's like, come on, leave the nonsense for scoreboards. Joseph, right, get back to some of the comments. Hold it together. We did totally hold our own and totally rattled the start of the game, right up to the overrated attack to give the ball away. Yep, exactly. Do you think that Rio Hatate should play from the start, or do you think that he's better coming on? Because his form hasn't been there. His form hasn't been there. Hatate's passing's been poor, just as Sean says that. Hatate can't pass a ball to save himself just now. That's why I'm thinking maybe Turnbull. When will CCV be back? He's going to be back at the end of the month. Well, he's meant to be back after the international break next week. So I'm hoping he's back on the pitch. So it's all about just easing him back into that team. It's all about getting Carter Vickers easing him back in the team. But let's get back to Hatate. His passing was the same last season, said Richards. Hatate. Yes, Tarmac, I did say Hatate. Anyway, we'll move on for that. Lagerbielke is suspended. Lagerbielke is suspended. Tony. And Hatate's got his start, says James. The Onion Bears are making a cartoon with a little side. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, my goodness. Right, let me just close a couple of screens down because I've done that. And I noticed that one of their players signed a new contract today. It seems Fabrizio Romano going on about that one of their players has signed a new deal. But does that mean anything? Probably not. I think they've paid $4 million for him. He's made 271 appearances, scored 49 goals and 70 assists. Who cares? When you look at where they are in the league, I just think that we've got them there for the taking. Right, McCarthy is starting at left back, and Lennox down to something today. I would start Turnbull to start. Oh, Tony Boy, what is that you said? Tony Boy, let me go to your fantastic one. Are you sure, Chalpo? You've been wrong before. Hatate has lost the plot. Another international break. Yep, another international break, which is just horrendous. I hate international breaks. I might have to actually watch some international football just to try and get some football in me. Who really cares? Says if Hatate doesn't start, the manager will get hammered if we lose. I'm thinking that Hatate will perform on Wednesday, says Richie. I hope so. I think that Hatate is due as a performance. He's due as a performance, and especially after just signing his contract, you're thinking, maybe that's the little kick up the butt he needs. Chilpel says Hatate for man of the match on Wednesday. That's interesting. Do you really think he's going to do it? He's going to pull out a kind of performance, a man of the match performance? I'm thinking there's more chance of the likes of Palmer or something to get. Stuart Ramsey says, Baz, you've got some serious poltergeist activity going on. It's not. I've got a fan on because it's absolutely boiling. So it does make it look like there's a poltergeist, doesn't it? No, I've got a fan on because it's roasting in this room. It's absolutely boiling, and my furniture still isn't here. They're ordered. Don't get it started. Right, something today says, I don't know if Rio has conscious after that head kick. Here's an interesting thought because if he had concussion after that kick in the head at the weekend, Peter, nobody answered me. Is it true that Alex Ray is just Peter? Tatty scored on Wednesday, says Eamon. I can't lie, I kind of miss Mr. Mole. Baz Scales to score on Wednesday. Scales scored with a header from a corner. Who's playing outside right, Yang or Forrest? Neither. I'll say Palmer. Nah, because he's the other side. I think James Forrest might get the nudge. What are you drinking tonight, Baz? You just joined it. I'm not drinking tonight. It's a Monday. Jesus, I don't drink every night. God, what's wrong with you people? I'm working in the morning. Hatate to score 2 on Wednesday, says Paul Baird. We need to write these down. Should really write those down. What do you think the score will be? Just calm down. Celtic are going to win on Wednesday. Hale says Davy. Just remember James Forrest scored in Lazio. He did that. And I think that's why James Forrest might just get the nod. The law of averages, Hatati is due as. Yep. I think James Forrest. What is that? By the way, Baz, I've got the heating on. I've got a fan on and keep me cool. Keep me cool. Davy's going with 3-1 Celtic. 3-1. Who do you think will score the 3 goals? Baz is detoxing after drinking that mom's tears. I've been drinking for weeks. For weeks. I'm on San Miguel. San Miguel, that's a nice drink, but it's not the best Spanish beer. Forest to start. Who do you think, Davy, who do you think will score the 3 Celtic goals? Do you think Kyogo will get off the mark? We've never scored a bucket load of goals. How do you see us scoring 3 goals against Lazio? And especially at Celtic Park. I don't know. I don't know. We're not big scorers in Europe that way. So I'd err on the side of caution. I would take a 1-0 win because odds for under 2.5 goals. Hoping I win. I'll take one night in the win. Yep, I'll take 1-0 all night long. If we come away with a 1-0 win, Scales and Palmer Kyogo to get on the score sheet. That's an interesting one. I think Forest will come on, not to start 2-0 to us. Matt O'Reilly's a good shout for a goal. Matt O'Reilly is a good shout for a goal. The way that he's been running into the box, that's a good shout actually. Matt O'Reilly. Matt O'Reilly's a cracking shout. Kyogo, I'm not convinced about Kyogo in Europe just yet. There's something just not right about Kyogo in Europe. And I think once he gets his first goal, he might go on a run. Kyogo's got to score in Europe eventually, hoping that he starts that against Lazio. Says Paul. Kalmak is due a goal also. Has Kalmak scored this season? He's not, has he? We're only 7 games in. He's not. But then Kalmak's always got a good goal from him from outside the box as well. It is. Excuse me. It is the fact that Kalmak's going to score a belter, says Graham Hardy. Alistair Johnson to score. Well, there's one. Hugo O'Reilly and James McCarthy. Somebody's been on yep. About time Callum was scoring, says Derek. Hugo's the guy. Calling the gold won't be the same without Beale. 3-1 on Wednesday. On the hoops, says Martin. Carmack hasn't took a shot this season. He did take one shot, and it was ridiculous. I personally think that Brendan's got him sitting further back, so he's not getting up the front as much. He's got Matt O'Reilly playing more in that position, so you've got more chance. He wants Matt O'Reilly to score more goals. I think he's trying to turn Alan McGregor into Scott Brown Mark II. And talking about Scott Brown, my brother-in-law was in the gym with him today. That was interesting. Text to get. I'm sitting next to Scott Brown in the gym. I'm like, so what? I'm working. Get away. Anyway, take a deflection. Michael Beale's Mo. Hey, shoot at any opportunity, says Stuart. Chilwell says Brendan Rodgers and Alistair Johnson to get forward and have a shot. Yes, and he's also been asking the same of Matt O'Reilly. He wants Matt O'Reilly to become a pretty prolific midfield player and scoring lots of goals. To me, it's like they're trying to get Callum McGregor to really focus and manage the game and manage the players on the field, just like what Scott Brown did. And that will give him longevity that will take him on. He'll be Celtic captain for years. I would take 1-0 with Joe Hart, 96 corner pass back to Joe Hart volley. Oh, the side-to-side football that then goes back to Joe Hart and a volley to score a goal. Did he race Brown on the treadmill? Well, I think it was next to the treadmills that they were on. Yep. But anyway, Hart needs to be brave. Hart needs to be brave. I think the defence needs. It's a big night for Phillips. It's a massive night for Phillips. He needs to show his Liverpool quality tomorrow, and I'm actually worried about him. I'm more worried about him than I am Liam Scales because I think Liam Scales will do fine. For me, the question mark on the player tomorrow is going to be Nat Phillips. One, his game time's not up there. He's only, he's never really played any football since February, and then to go right into a Champions League game, that's a big, big shout. It's why we brought him in, but Phillips to score a header. It's Phillips, the centre back. Yeah, I agreed. Phillips has a lot to do. Yep, and that's my only worry. That's my only worry. For God's sake, have a shot at goal. Stop trying to pass the ball about to death. Like Dom, Dom, you're taking that when you look at the Scottish League. Lazio aren't going to sit back as much as what teams do in the Scottish League. So um, they're going to try and hit us more on the break, but they're also going to try and attack us more. So don't worry about them sitting back. It's going to be a completely different game of football. Greg has to handle a lot with the right winger. Peter Murphy says just as long as we can get a ball into Kyogo, he'll score and not on as a sub. Kyogo won't be on as a sub. Kyogo will start. He'll start the game, but definitely. Oh my God, you talk about your bum sometimes, mate. Who, me? Good. Good. Cammy. Cammy, I've got 233 people online. You're not going to attend to that at your funeral, but we'll have our say. We'll have our say. Anyway, Kyogo's 10 to 1 to score. And oh man, Bam. Oh my goodness, Pat Maguire. Pat Maguire. Hart needs his defence to be more alert. Um, so Hart doesn't get sent off again. Playing in the SPL is like picking a lock, says something today. Europe can kick the door off the hinges. This is true. This is very, very true. Right. Leon says we've still got some crackers to come back from injury. No, I mean, not Phillips, boys. What's he's talking about the night? Anyway, yeah, Pat Maguire's on a roll tonight, aren't you? Well, troops, the banter years are back. By the way, says Craig Gilmer. Right, there's a lot more people online now. How many thumbs up do we have? And then we'll get some shoutouts. 115 thumbs up. Make sure you smash the thumbs up. Where is Bernardo? Paulo Bernardo. Um, can't get into the team, basically. Can't get into the team. He'll be on as a sub. He'll be there as a sub. He'll be there as a sub. He'll not get a start. Hi Baz says Edward at Madrid we will beat them. Chill Bill. Do you think Atletico Madrid will beat Feyenoord? Had Clyde one on at work. Hilarious, says Craig Gilmer. Pat McGuire is at it again. Did you know we got Phillips? I didn't know we got Phillips. Yeah, we got Nat Phillips from the other montage on Downs. Right. Let's see if there's other Celtic news kicking about tonight because Neil Lennon has been naming Celtic players that he thinks will turn on the show. Players that will be absolutely vital to beating Lazio. Now, remember, former Celtic manager Neil Lennon did have two famous victories over the Italian side in Glasgow and in Italy just under 4 years ago now. And if you'd tell me in 2019 that it would have been the last year that I went to a Celtic away game, I would have said that you were off your absolute head. Neil Lennon says, these are the games that you want to play, and certainly they're so beneficial to me in my career. Obviously, playing at Celtic Park is such a privilege on European nights, says Neil Lennon. Neil Lennon then went on and says, look, Kyogo will be pivotal. He said, it's good to see Hitati back. I think the midfield is functioning very, very well. Matt O'Reilly, says Neil Lennon, is having a fantastic season so far. It's good to see Alistair Johnson come back. He is a very important player for Celtic. The two fullbacks are now finding their form, being Greg Taylor and Alistair Johnson. He says it's really hard to pinpoint one player, says Neil Lennon, but your captain, Callum McGregor, is always playing. He's going to be completely vital to the game. Simply put, Neil Lennon says the tie against the Serie A side, after the opening day defeat, Brendan Rodgers is looking to grab all 3 points at Celtic Park if Celtic have had any designs or desires to get out of the group, whether it's through the last 16 or the Europa League. Our preference is all the Europa League. I think finishing third in the group is where we want to be, where we need to be, because I want to get to Dublin in May next year. Drop points on Wednesday. It will be a disaster, an absolute disaster, says Lennon, especially after Lazio drew with Atletico Madrid. He believes that Celtic will win the match. He said, by at least a couple of goals. Celtic have the firepower with Kyogo and O'Reilly, as long as he can keep the back door closed for the first 3 points in the Champions League. So, what do you think about Neil Lennon saying that? He reckons that Kyogo and O'Reilly are the ones to score the goals on Wednesday night. He says that O'Reilly and Kyogo are the ones to score the goals. He says he also went on to say that Conor McGregor is basically going to run the show. Tell me what you think about that in the comments whilst I catch up with Hugo to score against Lazio, says Sharon High from Wales. Wow, High from Wales. Make sure that you tune in to all the lives from Wales, Sharon. Welcome to the channel. What you boys in green? If you've been watching Celtic for over 50 years, Kyogo will score against Lazio, she says. White Iris says, Baz, just a wee suggestion, mate. Tell the troops that if it's a point to you in front of the comment that you just thought. Put a hashtag in front. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Lennon loves. Yeah, he does keep on saying that, which is a bit disappointing. It's a bit disappointing for Lennon, but he's just fine. He's just trying to get his media gigs. You know, he's not getting a job as a manager anyway, so he's just trying to get as much media gigs as possible. San Fran Celtic says if you go to Dublin, ooh, well, I had somebody comment on this channel on the video yesterday talking about that. I'm not going to talk about it. So I know what you're saying, San Fran Celtic. I know what you're saying. We lack the physicality Lennon had in his team. The Bookings have us at 2-1 to win and 13-10 for Lazio, says Chilwell. We lack the physicality Lennon had. We will concede. We'll need to score a few. Will we concede though? We've been pretty tight at the back. They have 9 between them in the league. Pat Maguire, you're totally on a roll tonight, aren't you? Right, let me just see. Was Lennon a better player or manager? So that's an interesting question because obviously I went to the football during both these times. I think as a player, it was mollycoddles by Martin O'Neill a bit. I thought maybe Paul Lambert was the better player than Lennon at the time. Manager, he was a fantastic manager for us. Winning against Barcelona, his first time round. I've he should have walked after the 9, is what I think. But I think he was a better manager than he was a player. He won a lot as a player at Celtic, and obviously he had the heartbreak of Seville and everything. But that's a hard question. That I might actually put that as a poll. Actually, the community tab. Was Neil Lennon a better player or a manager? He was a fantastic manager for us the first time round. There's no denying that. No denying that. And I'll always love him for what he did with the Champions Trophy in the corner. So yeah, let's move on for that. Alex Ray, yep, not San Francisco says neither. He was a better player. Love him as a manager. Love Lenny. Both. Lenny is integral to the team. Lord of the Rings, Alex Paul Bear, so Paul saying Lennon was good at both. He was good at both, but it's an interesting question to have. Neil Lennon and the Thunder. Yep, the Thunder. Bringing back the Thunder. Lennon adores the club. Yeah, it's a good question. That is a cracking question, actually. Oh my God, the Thunder. It was some time to be a Celtic fan when Lenny was boss. It was actually some time. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant time. But he had his time at Celtic. He came back to do the 9, which was, it was right. Tom called him a crab because he always passed sideways. Yep. Eamon says better times as a manager. Shame game was class. Barca. Yeah, the shame game. The shame game. But it wasn't really a shame game that. when I mean, at the end of the game, we were all going berserk because we won. There was nothing went on inside the ground. It was all because Ali McCoy said something to him, and we're still no any closer to finding out what was actually said. I've asked Tomo, and even Tomo won't say anything. So who knows? Who knows? We're all blaming him for what happened in the 10. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. But for me personally, he should have walked at the 9. I think it's a hard thing to do, and he wanted to be the man to do the 10. You can understand why he did stay, but everybody, look, I will always go back to when we came out of Hampden after he won the cup final, and everyone was on the bus and everyone was jumping around and we're all going absolutely berserk. And then it came over the radio that he was offered the job full time, and it killed the atmosphere on the bus. It absolutely killed the atmosphere on the bus after Hampden, and it happened on lots of buses. All the buses just went poof. The atmosphere on the bus. We weren't even hadn't even drawn away for Hampden yet, and it just killed the atmosphere. It killed everything about winning the cup that day. Anyway, let's move on to Neil Lennon, his little leprechaun. I've been watching him longer than that. Alex Ray would have been better keep his day. It's a stunt double for Jason Statham. It's never a stunt double for him. He takes far too much gear. Tavernier went through a million manager. Actually, do you know who's probably through? You think about the many managers that Brendan Rodgers has went through at Sevcdo. Anyway, let's get back to Lazio. Let's get back to talking about Lazio. Big Dom says, I don't think Lazio will hit us on the break. They'll go for the high press, but will cause us problems at the back, says Big Dom. Are you that confident about them, Big Dom? Because they're sitting 16th in the league right now with only 7 points to their name this season. 7 points. I mean, they're playing absolutely garbage just now. Let's get back to, where is it? There we go, that one. It shows me the league. Now, they finished second. I mean, I'm going to go over it again. They second in the league last year, Serie A, not La Liga. Joe Bill. It's interesting to see. Inter Milan are on 7 points. They've played 7. They're on 18 points. They've got a goal difference of 16. AC Milan are on 7, played 7 and 18 points. Also, they've only got a goal difference of 7. And then away down in 16th are Lazio. And that's after them finishing second last year. And there's only 20 teams in their league. They're 16th with only 7 points, and they're on minus 3 goals. So they've took a couple of tankings this season. I don't know. I think it is. If there's one chance that Celtic will win, I think we'll take it. Where are Juve? Just check. Juventus are 4th in the league. So the Italian league says Inter Milan 18, AC Milan 18, Napoli are on 14. With a goal difference of 10. Juventus are on 14. Atlanta are on 13. Fiorentina are on 11. And then even Torino are away down in 10th. So, yeah, down there in 16th position. You can understand why the bookies have got us as favourites. You've just got to take the game as it is. We've got to play our own game. I think Brendan Rodgers will know this. We need to dictate the play as much as possible. We need to slow the game down when they try to hit us on the break, and it's not going to be a case of this. We're going to have to try and hit them on the break, if anything. Neil Lennon should always be regarded as a Celtic great. He will always be regarded as a Celtic great, but the question was he a better player or was he a better manager? That was all. That was it. And Lenny has been talking about the Lazio game, and he has said that Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool has been a vital figure, and when going forward, um, he reckons Callum McGregor needs to pull all their strings, and he reckons that Kyogo and Matt O'Reilly will score. So he's picked out 2 players who he thinks will score. It's all on the right. Baz, but can we beat them? They don't have the defence to be there. The biggest, man, I've got to go back to it. My biggest worry about the defence is Nat Phillips and his lack of game time. Nat Phillips and his lack of game time. That's my worry. He's either going to Nat Phillips is going to do one or two things. He's going to have a complete nightmare of a game, and we're all going to complain about it, or he's going to play out his skin. He's going to show his Liverpool quality, and he's going to make sure that Liam Scales has a fantastic game. McGregor will score. San Fran. Oh, stand where you want. He was never more than a journeyman who played as a manager. Pat Maguire. You're having some laugh. That's going to do a Duffy us. Do you think so? Is he? No, he can't. Surely. Italian league is different from the Scottish league. So we must treat them as a threat, says Norman. Yeah, it is a better league, but come on. They're sitting 16th in that league. They're obviously having a really bad season. There's 7 games into the league also. Their manager's been complaining about the fact that he didn't get the players he wanted. And the report that I read this morning, he wanted players. He listed them from A, and he says that he ended up players in Z, and he's Z-rated players. So he's not very happy, and the results have shown that. The fact that their keeper scored the equaliser against Madrid in the 90th minute or whatever it was, late into the game, shows that they've got something about them. But and you've got to look at the league position. You've got to look at the league position and the fact that they're 16th in the league on -3 goals. Let's see if we can get the bigger 2 seconds. Right, let me get their past results. Um, let's see. Top stories. There we go. There's a stop go. Lazio drama breaks out against the Cold War. Tensions between the owner and the manager as they prepare for Celtic clash. Right, league. Forwards. Let's get the extended league standings. There we go. Lazio. Click on. Right, come on. Right, Lazio, the last 5 games. They've got 2 losses, 2 wins, and a draw in the last 5 games. 2 losses, 2 wins, and a draw. They lost, they won, they drew, they lost, and then they won a game. They won their last game. So are they coming on to a bit of form? It's not a form that I'd be worried about. It's not a form that I think that we'd be overly worried about. I think if Celtic go out and play that we need all our top players to really perform. We need the fans to get right behind us. Right behind us. Lazio must be tough to beat. They beat Napoli 3-1. Baz, don't believe it'll happen, but Lazio, they'll be hard to beat, force mistakes, and a high press, says Big Dom. Laughing at the stations. Peter Murphy says, now I agree with you, Baz. I said that Nat was a sub and he's not ready. Whether, but he's not Celtic ready. Love it when English can't handle our league. It is the biggest worry for me. It is having Phillips not having any game time as such. I mean, like full games. Full games. Nobody can stop Celtic at home. Yeah, they can. In Europe, they can. Beale's on a plane to Saudi with a bag of cash. Saudi with a bag of cash. Nobody can stop Celtic. Can we finally turn back to it? And whoever calls it Parker on this channel once will get banned. Whoever can we turn it back into a fortress? There's a question. Can we get it back into a fortress? Even just, I think if we win just one game in the Champions League this season, it'll be a massive result. But I honestly think that we could finish third. Still think we could finish third. Didn't know they beat Napoli though. Yep, I didn't know that either. I'm just looking at their results. Right, let me see what other Celtic news is kicking about. James McFadden, nope. Former striker takes aim. Everything's just laughing at the Sevcdo tonight. Absolutely. Published use of centrifugal heart. After I'm going to look about that. Right. We're going to do a live tomorrow night. We're going to talk more in depth about the Lazio game. And will Nat Phillips start on Wednesday? Yes, he will. Because there's no one else. Who else needs to play in the back? Paul. Do you know when is Cameron Vickers back in action? In about 2 or 3 weeks' time after the international break, which is next week. So I'm going to say that he's going to come in, and I think he'll come in and he'll keep Phillips at the team. He'll keep Nat Phillips at the team. We all thought that Nat Phillips would be the player that is going to come in and play besides Cameron Carter Vickers. But the way that Scales is playing, Scales is getting to be almost undroppable for the team. Where Scales is getting to be undroppable was where Phillips isn't fit enough, if you ask me. It was a bit harsh on Goal Lazio. Goal Lazio. B. Keep going and we can all get pissed together. Says Pat. I'm not drinking tonight. 9th October, minute for CCV. Scales for the rest of the season. Yep. I think it will be Scales and Cameron Carter Vickers for the rest of the season. Is that still red Castle there? That was Gio. Um, we all had the ingredients for a great night in paradise, says Edward. Right, that's me done and dusted for this evening. If you are on Super Scoreboard, we didn't come to take part, we came to take over. It was absolutely fantastic, hilarious, and the amount of Rangers fans that were saying that Super Scoreboard needs to do something about the bots, the bots that were on the programme. It wasn't bots, it was Celtic fans saying milk, 7 Up, chocolate. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans.